OFX was popping. So something I've been wanting to talk about is consistency, right? It's been a topic that I've been studying for the past 2 years in terms of risk reward and trying to figure out which is the best. And like I've said before, the conclusion I came to was that it doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you stick to it and you um, stay consistent with it. And whatever risk reward you're going to do, like I'm doing now, a 1-to-1, if you take that and you apply the intuition, experience, strategy, emotional control, risk management. You apply all those things to whatever risk reward you're using. Now that break even rate is going to bump up just a little bit, right? We've talked about the theory that if you randomly enter trades, like I've gone through on video and showed that this actually is a real thing. You randomly enter trades with whatever risk reward, and you do that hundreds of times, you'll roughly end up around break even, right? But then what you do is you add all the things I just said to intuition, experience, all these things, and then it'll bump that win rate up slightly, just enough to be profitable in the long run, right? 52% win rate with a 1-to-1. You don't need that much. You're 2% above break even, but you'll still be able to be profitable, right? If you win 52% of your trades, you win 52 out of 100 trades, right? Just to make it easy, we take 100 trades, win 52, lose 48. That's 4% minus fees and commissions and all that stuff, right? Now, if you're risking 3%, it's 12%. If you're risking 5%, that's 20%, right? So it doesn't have to be anything crazy to be able to make a lot of money doing this stuff. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And now, in the past few weeks, I've been doing pretty horrible, right? The first few weeks of calling this out, it was good. I was like, oh, okay, I made a good decision. And now it's like, oh man, I feel kind of embarrassed. Like I switched to 1-to-1s and I'm losing, but at the same time, I think I'm doing the right thing. The 1-to-1 seemed to work for me mentally just a lot better. But I called out all these trades yesterday. So it was like Sunday at like 4 or 5 o'clock. This one's pretty much an L. This one's an L. Close it a little early. This one's an L. Close it a little early. It was like 90% of it. Close that one early. So that's 3 L's yesterday. That's cool. This one tapped it. It's a little bit in profit. And then this one we're still waiting. And then this one I think is in drawdown just a little bit. So it's like, okay, well, I took 3 L's yesterday, right? And now if we look at the whole last few weeks, 1-and-1 last week, 2-and-3, 2-and-3, 2-and-3. The previous 3 weeks before that, that's not good, right? 6-and-10 so far. I think this is the last week of August. We went 2-and-0, 3-and-2, 7-and-1, 8-and-1. I think I started calling out trades again right here. So this is right before I started doing it. But in calling out trades, 3-2, 2-0, 7-1, I don't know why the results were so much better before I started calling out. Maybe I'm like a little bit more nervous, but the results were like off the charts when I was calling this all out by myself. Like the results were just ridiculous. 4-0, did have some bad weeks though, for sure. Like this, 4-7, 8-5, 10-12, But this is the thing. Inconsistency. 0-2, 1-0, 3-10. That's fantastic. 3-2. This is the thing that what I'm starting to really realize is it really doesn't matter. Depending on the risk reward, if I'm using 1-to-1, you're gonna have weeks that are great. You're gonna have weeks that are horrible. You're gonna have weeks that are kind of what the fuck ever. 3-2, right? But then sometimes you're gonna have weeks or months where you're just like, dude, I fucking crushed it. What is this, May? 5-1, 8-3. That even 8-5 is good, man. This is really good. This is pretty shit. But even that's really good. And then June total, 21-7. I mean, that's almost unheard of, but I wasn't fabricating shit. Right? But now through all that inconsistency, here is the overall numbers right now. 118 and 104. The 1-to-1 really made a comeback. When I took a break, this is also another theory that I have, is what you focus on is probably going to grow, right? That's like an old saying, what you focus on grows. when it came to the risk reward, when I was doing this was fucking crushing it, right? This was killing it before I took that little bit of a break. And then when I started focusing on one to ones, because in my head, I was like, I think I want to do one to ones. I'm not really feeling the really negative risk reward. I want to do one to ones. One to one has always made me feel better. So when I came back to it, it just started doing so much better. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is it doing better now? It was doing horrible all year. It was in crazy drawdown. I feel like I was just focusing on it more. And it just started to change. You get way better. And now we're up 14%. The leading is one to one stop profit. This is the rankings. So one to one is fourth place, and all the negative risk rewards are all down here except two to one. And one and two, of course, is still horrible. But this is what it is. And it's like throughout all those weeks that I just showed you, 2 and 3 weeks in a row, and one to one, and now I've lost 3 trades in a row. It's still at the end of the day, if you stick to the plan and you continue doing what you're going to do, you'll still be able to be profitable. This is risking 1%, up 14%, right? 14% on a big account is a lot of money, man. If you have a $500,000 account, 14% is going to fucking, what is that? $70,000. That's a lot. That's a lot, but that's what trading is. And so far, I'm down 3 trades this week. So we're going to continue to hold this. That's active. And then also we are in, are we in something else? This one. Those are the 2 active ones, and we're going to hold it. Hopefully we might have another fucking 2 and 3 week. Who knows? But that's just a topic I want to talk about, man. Consistency. All you got to do is just stick to the plan. Intuition, strategy, experience, risk management, emotional control, and just understand that overall the probabilities are going to play out. That's all trading is. It's just probabilities. It's just sticking to the plan and expecting the odds and the probabilities to play out. And I think it was Mark Douglas who said that if you lose a trade, you're not bad. If you win, you're not good. It's just odds and probabilities. And that's the main thing that I've learned in the past, few months and years of studying this risk reward shit, is that it's just all odds and probabilities. There's no way that I could know to do that and then maybe I'd win that trade, right? I'd get a 1 to 4. There's no way that I'd know that price would only go that far. That was the best risk reward to do. There's no way that I'd know that this should be the best risk reward to do. These trades up here, if I was taking 10 to ones, I would have won. There's no way to 100% guarantee to know that price is only going to go that far. I genuinely don't believe that you can consistently predict these markets. I don't believe it. I have spent probably over 10,000 hours on the charts trying to figure this shit out. And what I've come up with is that it's unpredictable. Could I sit here and say, yeah, I think price is going to bounce and I'm just going to hope that price is going to come up to this next level like I did, right? Yeah, I could. And could it have? Yeah. But is there any way to say price is 100% going to bounce exactly from here? And it's going to go exactly to here. And I'm going to be able to do that consistently across the board over my entire 40-year trading career. Fuck no. It's not possible. That's why I trade the way I trade now, and I have given up on the idea of trying to consistently predict a market. And that's why now I'm leaving it up to odds and probabilities. I know the way I trade works. And I know I have experience in intuition and risk management and emotional control and a strategy that I've back tested for years and years and years. And I apply that to the risk reward of a 1 to 1. And I say, okay, all I want to do is win 52 to 54% of the time. And I'm moving on. And that's it. And I'm going to sit back. I'm going to take these trades that I think will play out, and I'm going to let the odds and probabilities play out. And that is genuinely how I feel I will become a very, very, very successful multimillionaire day trader. Just like that. The consistency is inconsistent depending on the risk reward you do. Do you want to win a whole bunch of trades? I mean, if that's what you want to do, then take a really, really small risk reward, right? Because you're going to win a majority of trades, but you're just not making that much money, right? I don't feel that any of these risk rewards, whenever I hear somebody say that I'm doing a 1 to 3 and I'm winning 40 of the time, I don't believe him. Do I think it's possible to have for a short stint? Of course, yeah, of course it is. Just like with me, I've had short stints where I've won 100% of my trades. I've had a couple months where I've done that, and but then right the fuck after the next month, I lose. I win 3 and lose 5, right? But that's how trading goes. But if somebody's out here telling me, oh, I win 40%, 50%, I've heard somebody say they win 70% of the time with 1 to 3 one time. It's fucking bullshit. I don't believe that you can genuinely be above 2 to 4% above break even on average. So a 1 to 1 would be 52 to 54. A 1 to 3 might be like 27, 28% maybe. The higher it goes, the lower it goes a little bit. A 10 to 1 is 91% break even. I feel like maybe 95, 96% on average win rate. I don't feel like you can be that much above consistently with the win rate. It's just not possible. I don't think. And like I said, trading has been a lot less stressful lately because I've taken this approach of just letting the odds and probabilities play out. I just take a back seat and say, all right, I take this trade. I think it'll work. Cool. If it plays out, awesome. If it doesn't, whatever. On to the next one. Consistency is not exact. The way I think consistency should be approached is consistency within your strategy and your approach. That's it. I don't think there should be any emphasis on consistency with winning trades at all. So that's just a little random rant. I had none of that planned out. Off the dome, brother. But that's it, man. OFX out.